Hello and welcome to Navigating Life with Coach Lowe. We are here in season 2 for another episode. And today, I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. As you all know, I have the best guest on the planet. And today I have Nico Church with me. He is not only the man, he is not only the heavyweight champion, but he is also my cousin. And he has a really, really good story around a theme that was happening in his life. And we are going to share the details of that with you today. Without further ado, I would love to introduce to you Mr. Nico Church and give him an opportunity to share with you who he is, where he's from, and who he belongs to. Nico, welcome to the show, Navigating Life with Coach Lowe. I am so glad you finally made it.
I'm here in the flesh, in the real life. I'm here. I made it. I want to first off thank you so much, Coach Lowe, Cousin Lowe, for allowing me just to come on and just kind of share a bit about my story, about my life, who I am, what makes me the man I am today, the husband, the father, the man of God, and everything like that. I'm originally from St. Louis, the third of 7 children. My mom originally was a single mother. My dad, was incarcerated when I was age 13. That kind of started my life and everything like that. So I am a husband to my beautiful wife, Nico Church. I have 3 beautiful children. Nico's 23, Aaliyah 20, will be 21 next Friday, the 24th, and then I got my baby girl coming up. Well, I just turned 8. So that's between those 4. That's really my push of that was kind of my driving force of who made me who I am today. But that's a little bit about myself. I love photography. I love sports, coaching sports, playing sports, anything sport oriented, anything if you call it sport, I enjoy it. Favorite color is blue. Member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated as well. But just a little bit about myself, So I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful. I'm blessed to be here, and my mission and behind all of this is just to really inspire somebody, just to really show the importance of just keeping going, just keep going, believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, believing and trusting in God no matter what, because God has purpose for all of our life. God got something special for all of us. So you just got to be able to tap into that thing, listen to Him, and man, once you get yourself out the way, it's amazing. It becomes amazing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I agree. And I agree. So Nico, we are going to talk today about the day of pain, passion, and purpose for Nico Church. So tell us a little bit about this special date. It's December 20th. And so December, it all started for you December 2003. Tell us a little bit about that great day, because that was a date of celebration and history and the whole show. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, correct. December 2003, December 20th, 2003. That was the day that I graduated from college. That was a special day for me because it was significant in my family because I was a first generation graduate from my family. That was a huge milestone. That was kind of the torchbearer that I put the weight on my shoulders. But it was also special to me because I had a very challenging and struggling high school career, if you say. Got in a lot of trouble, did a lot of knucklehead things. Barely graduated. I mean, I literally almost graduated with like 1.6 GPA, and it was something that was told. College was not in my future. I tested, to try to get into community college. I didn't do well, and it was just like, man, college is out. College is not my thing. But it was something that was starting to spur inside of me, and I wanted to be that example, be that lead. I had my kids at home, and that was huge for me. That was huge for me. My mom made it to my graduation, which was about 5 hours away, which was huge because my mom, she doesn't like to be driven on the street. You can't do 35 miles per hour on the street. So to get her there, I have no idea how God made it happen, but he made it happen. And even still to this day, you can't get my mom to drive 30 minutes on the highway. So it was huge. It was huge. And also I had, my one of my high school principal, administrator that was there, she made me promise that, if I go to college, she'd help me to help, pay for me, through college, things like that, which was amazing because again, first off, I never thought I would go to college. And then secondly, just to have this white lady kind of take me under her wings and just, believe in me and trust in me was something that at that moment I had no idea what would do for me in my life. But that was just kind of the start. It was something amazing for me. So to have those people there for me with that support system was truly, truly amazing.
That is awesome. So you said a couple of things in there. You pointed out the fact that your principal was a white lady that actually helped you. Why did you make that significant in your expression? Can you just answer that question? Because I was gonna ask some other stuff. I'll just let you answer it.
Well, the reason why I mentioned that because I grew up in the city, grew up in the inner city in St. Louis, kind of rough neighborhood. So I was in the DSEC program. DSEC program is, where we kind of bus kids from the city out to the county. It's probably about a 40-minute ride. And when I say that it's a significance because at that time, this is something that just wasn't happening. It was something that, we didn't really feel a lot of togetherness. There was a lot of separation, whatever the case may be. And I didn't understand at the moment why me, all kids that got in a lot of trouble, was in her office all the time. But it was something in me that she seen in me that I couldn't see in myself. My mom, she wasn't, we didn't have a lot growing up and things like that. So it's one of those things that, if they would buy me clothes from Walmart, say a jogging suit or some pants and things like that, that would help me. So they kind of took me under the wings, and I just didn't really understand, what it was. But I was like, why does she want this little black kid? Why are they helping out? Why are they helping me out? Because that's just something that just wasn't happening at that time. So I kind of put that emphasis on there because it was something that was different. That was something that most people wouldn't do at that moment. So, but that's something that was important to me.
And I think that speaks volumes to the current undertones we're having with racial and social discrimination in our country.
Yes,
We're coming through a pandemic. We've just changed
absolutely.
administration in our country, and so there's still a lot of residual that is going on, but everyone that doesn't look like you is not against you. They can be for you. And so,
Correct.
like
That's
yourself,
true.
I'm very grateful to say that my world is very diverse and colorful. And so I think that really helps
Correct.
you to be a whole, complete person, that your world is not just people that look like you.
That's right. I mean, I think it's so important because, being at a, predominantly white, school, you kind of get the best of both worlds. I feel was the best for me. I'm not saying had I went to the city school that things would have been the same, but I know our neighborhood, I know where I was at, and I know growing up that for me to be at the situation at the school where I was at was the best thing for me. To get that help was something that was even different from a lot of people, even at the school, from
Mhm.
friends, even in high school today, to even get that. So, I mean, I just know that that was just kind of the beginning that God was kind of doing something in my life, and I had no idea, until I really started tapping into, His true promise and desires for what He had for me. But yeah, I mean, being diverse is so important. I mean, I think we got to be able to learn and live amongst each other, and make it just makes the world a better place. I mean, if you can, attend with your white friends or Asian friends or Hispanic friends, Latino, black, white, everyone just needs to be able to get together and love on each other. Because if you are a true Christian and you love Christ, you love Lord, you should be able to love thy neighbor as you love yourself.
Right.
So I think that's something that's very important because me myself, I love culture. I love to travel. I love trying to experience new things. I want to travel the world. It is on my bucket list to travel the world. I mean, literally every single continent, every single state that's on my bucket list has been on my bucket list since I was a small child. And, you know, post COVID, you know, prayerfully that, you know, the world starts opening up and I can get out to travel and do some things like that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's move right along. So we're going back to December 20th because we're talking about the pain, the passion, and the purpose of Nico Church, where December 20th is concerned. So on December 20th, 2007, you had another milestone that took place, not just one, but two. So your current wife,
Two,
my biological
two big ones.
your your now wife, my biological cousin, she graduated from college, and then you proposed to us. Tell us about that. Spill the tea. This is exciting.
Man. Well, that was a huge thing. That was definitely an exciting moment again for our life and everything like that. So my wife, she graduated undergrad that year. And I don't know what I was thinking, what happened at the time, so but we went out to dinner and everything like that. And I've been playing this thing. I'm like, man, this is a good girl. I didn't know she was good for real, but I mean, she's a good girl. She's a great one. She's a wonderful one. You know, we got different stories on how we met and how we got together. But again, it was at my employer. She came up to me. I'm working, doing my thing. And then she's like, man, so we exchanged numbers or whatever case may be. And fast forward, skip it up. December 20th, she graduates. We're at dinner. The whole family's there. We're at Kobe, which is one of our favorite restaurants that we literally go to for our birthdays, our anniversaries, everything. Every fun moment we go to Kobe Steakhouse, a little hibachi grill, they cook it in front of you and everything. Everybody's kind of spread out, amongst the table and everything like that. So I get up, go to the restroom. So I say, and I go to our waiter. I'm like, hey, I'm about to propose to my girl, and I want you to bring this ring out, on this. They brought the ring out on like this dish with the cheesecake with the. So they brought the dish out, bringing the dish along and everything like that. And I was like, hey, baby, you want some cheesecake? So, and then bring the cheesecake, had the ring on it, grabbed the ring and got down on one knee and the crowd erupted, the family erupted and everything. And it was crazy. And she said yes. And here we are 10 years later, still married, so it's definitely awesome. So.
Love it. I love it. I love it. That is what it is all about. So, wow, 10 years in already. Who would have thought it?
Yes.
But
Yes.
congratulations. I'm so glad that you guys are still together. You just celebrated her birthday. You guys had a great time doing that.
Yeah.
So that is just so awesome. So we are still with the theme of December 20th. Now we're going to go 4 years forward into 2011, and we lost our grandmother. Tell us about that season for you and why that is one of the parts of your story.
So 2011, my, if I guess technical would be grandmother-in-law. I don't know if that's even, but no, she was my grandma. That was my granny. Ida Mae Hurd was my granny. I loved her to death. That was my granny. And when I traveled to Chicago, she gave me nothing but love. She, it was just a connection. It was a special thing that we felt. And it was, couldn't nobody mess with me. The in-laws, I mean, I didn't have any problem with any in-laws. All my in-laws were amazing. But Granny was just something special. And she wouldn't let you talk bad about me. She wouldn't let say you couldn't anyway, but she just wouldn't let nobody bother me. She always cooked for me. We were always welcome at our house. And I'm like, dang, man, that took me back to the moment where I had my granny. I lost my granny right before I graduated college. And, so it was hard having that, because a grandma's love it's nothing more special than a grandparent's love. So I'm like, man, so I literally made that my granny. I wanted to go see her. I wanted to travel all the time to see her, and then she started battling cancer. So she had a lot of years of battling cancer and things like that. So we, we'll travel, to Chicago quite a bit, for holidays. We rotate and things, and see her. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but unfortunately, she got her wings. God, healed her from all her sickness and her pain, on December 20th. So I'm like, man, again, some just happens on December 20th. I'm like, this is crazy, So, but it's a moment where it was hurt and it was a pain for my wife, especially, but me as well. I felt it just like she was my own girl, So, and I still, to this moment, we always, say, we always look out for her on her birthday and things like that. We celebrate, that moment, December 20th, just as her going on into eternal peace. But there's always a moment that I'm always gonna remember how special and how impactful she was for that. That granny's love was amazing to me. So I'm forever embedded. I'm forever thankful for just her coming into my life and just bringing so much of that I missed from my granny.
Yeah.
From those years that I didn't have her. I'm trying not to get emotional. Uh, it was being everything for me. So it was definitely great. It was definitely great. And I'm apologizing in advance right now. I'm already starting to get emotional. I said I wasn't going to get emotional. So just bear with me. If y'all see me crying, just know, look, men, we need to cry. We don't need to hold this thing in. We need to be able to let these emotions out. And you ain't weak. You ain't soft. You ain't nothing if you need to express yourself. Be able to release that endorphin is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see tears of pain. It's tears of joy. It's tears of happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's tears of just knowing that how grateful or whatever it is that moment was. So it's you can definitely cry. It's all right. You're all right, man. If you cry.
And because you have permission, you have my permission. Do like you do. Yes, you just do what you need to do. It's all good. So
yeah. I'm trying to hold it all together,
It's okay. You don't even have to hold it together if you don't want to. You just gave them permission to cry. So if you need to, let it flow.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a
Right.
we moving on 2 years later, 2013, December 20th. You had a really interesting experience where you attempted suicide. So much had transpired for you that was good above that. What was it that happened in your life that would take you to that place where you no longer wanted to be here?
Man, it's for every high you got lows, and I had a lot of lows going on. I had a lot of struggles. I had a lot of, challenges with like, with family and, child custody and, child support and just my company, I had a lot of issues with the company. That I felt like, I was kind of getting passed over for promotions. And, when I know I was the best candidate, I'm crushing it in sales. I'm crushing it on every level, just being the best and being amazing. And I felt lost. I felt unvalued. I didn't feel loved. And I'm like, this is the same day where all these great things have been happening to me, but this is the same day where the enemy tries to come into your mind and trying to trick you and be like, no, you don't need to be here. You know what I mean? You don't, because ain't nobody thinking about you right now. There's nobody that's giving you the love and the attention that you desire and that you want right now. So go ahead and do it. Take yourself out. I put a gun to my head. I was sitting in my closet. And I'm like, I'm done. Said I don't want to be here anymore. All right. And God won't let me do it. He won't let me do it. And I'm like, why? Like, why won't this thing happen? Why won't it work? And there's a reason why he kept me around. There's a reason why he kept me going, because I want to be here enjoying all the peace and all the love that I have. Had I gave up on myself, had I had that happen, I don't know what happened to the gun. I don't know the jam. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I just thank God that I'm still here. I thank God that I made it through that tough moment, um, where I just didn't feel valued, feel loved. But hey, I'm good now. You know, I'm straight. And but I forever remember that moment. Like no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you always look back, like the further you go, the higher level that you get, you get more devils, more hatred, more pain, more everything coming towards you. And it was a trick of the enemy. He was trying to take me out because he he knew that God had something special for me. He knew that there was a special anointing and plan over my life that would be impactful for me to help others, going through similar struggles and similar pains and things like that. So I'm forever grateful and blessed that I'm still here. Forever thankful that I'm still here.
That is a blessing. I am so grateful that the Lord allowed you to stay. Jeremiah 29:11 in the Bible says, "For I know the plans I have," declares the Lord. "They are plans to prosper you and not harm you, but to give you a hope and a future." When you mentioned the battle, the struggle, and how God would not allow it to happen because there was still God still has next for you. And so some NEXT, there were some nexts for you. And his plan
Yeah.
is he is unapologetic about his plan for his children. And so even in your lowest of lows, God still has a plan. So I am just grateful that you could see the hand of God on your life for yourself so that you can continue to be an example and an inspiration for others. I want to say to you personally, thank you for being vulnerable in this moment and just sharing that part because you mentioned some things. You said when you were talking about crying that, man, you're not soft, you not this, you're not that. Sometimes people can feel like uh suicide for weaklings, and it's not. It is a struggle, it is a battle in your soul,
Right.
it's a battle in your mind.
Stronghold.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
we have to learn how to be sensitive to the things that people are going through. So I just want to say thank you so much for not eliminating that piece of it because that's important. People struggle with the spirit daily, and this is
Yeah.
something that you went through and you have the opportunity to still be here and share it. And I thank God for that. So we're
Yeah.
going to move on from that. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add additional to that?
Oh, well, you had mentioned Jeremiah 29:11, and that's literally my favorite scripture. I literally write that scripture out every single day on my notepad, and I have been doing this seriously for like the last 5 years of my life. I come in, for work and things like that, and I write out my to-do list, and that's one of the things I write out each and every day is that scripture, and I speak it to myself. I recite it to myself each and every day, and that's something that's been carrying me, that's been driving me because I believe it. It's up on my board, my whiteboard here at work. I mean, it's literally everywhere I take it is there. I have my keychain. I literally have it every single where I go because that's always a reminder to me of that moment. Like I could have been gone, took myself out of here, but the reason why I'm going because I know God has a plan for me. I know He has a purpose for me. And that's the reason why I got to keep this thing moving. I got to keep this thing going because I know it's somebody out there that's having the same struggle, that's having the same pains and the challenges and the battles that I had. And if I'm able to pull that thing out of me and speak it and allow them to see and hear the fullness and joy that comes with life if you just continue to keep on going. Man, God, man, all I can say is God is good. God is amazing, and he'll meet you at your lowest point. And I'm telling you right now, my strengths in God came from all those times when I was knocked down in that valley, when I was beat down, laid on my back. Only thing I had to do was look up, because I know he will bring me out of that valley. He will bring me out of that whatever pain that I was feeling. I know God will bring me out of it. And that's one of the things that strengthened my relationship with Christ, is from every struggle, every battle that I had.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we have gotten through the grunge of it. So the hardest places, we have moved through them, and I am grateful. But moving forward, we have good news, audience. God is not through yet. So 3 years later, moving forward, 2016, you went from you didn't want to be here anymore to God opened the door for you to have your first home built. What did that feel like?
Oh my gosh, that was like a dream, an amazing moment. Something that spurred me all the way back to my childhood, where I love to draw and kind of, craft and design and things like that. I wanted to go to college for interior design and construction and do all this stuff because I always had this vision of building a house when I was a kid. Nobody in our family had did it, to that point, um, that I had known of or anything. My aunt, she had built her house before I did, but what I never seen it happen, and we weren't told about it. We weren't like given the tools of success to do it, on how to do it. Because we grew up poor. We grew up poverty, struggling, living check to check, bills. You got more bills than money. Um, but when God puts something on the inside of you and you start listening to him, he'll hear the desires of your heart. And when you lean into him and believe in him and trust in him, he'll make a way. Let me tell you about this house. So I said, when I was 30, I wanted to buy me a house. When I'm turned 40, I want to build me a house. And that's me doing it my way. But God was like, when you come in and let me take over, I'm gonna get this thing going long before this. So 2016, December 20th, 36, we write to build our house. So me, being a knucklehead, not knowing what all it takes to build a house, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. I had $1,000 in my name that I put down to build a house. And first we got approved on a house, that was, about 45 minutes out. And I was like, man, no, we won't be able to do this because my mom won't come out here, my grandpa won't come out here, family won't come out. I said, no, that ain't it. So that thing came back to building a house. So we go in, we go through all the procedures of, picking out, everything from the floor to the doorknobs to the ceilings to the roof to the brick. I mean, just absolutely amazing. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm excited. I had no idea the struggle that we were about to have with building this house. I had no idea. First off, I had no idea how much money we needed to build this house. Because if you would have told me I needed, $10,000, $20,000 down payment, closing costs, all this, I'm like, no, because you know what? I don't have it. I don't have it. But the thing about God, my God, when you remove yourself from the equation, because me, I was blowing. I had no, it wasn't gonna happen. But when I signed that contract and we started that process and I started having challenges with the lenders, I had to meet with 4 different lenders because the house that we currently had, it wasn't selling and it was just chaotic and crazy and whatever case may be. But something popped in my head, and one of my favorite scriptures at the time was like, "Faith without works is dead." So I'm like, look, I gotta find somebody that's gonna do this loan, you know. Because at this point, we've already signed the contract. We signed the contract December 20. They're building the house. The house is going up no matter what, and we need to figure out how we gonna get out of our old house and get to the new house. But God was like, "Look, man, you gonna try to do it yourself, or you gonna get out the way." So literally, I just pull myself out the way. March, April, and May, I had my three best months at that time in my career for sales, where I was able to get enough money for our down payment and our closing costs. And that June of that year, 2017, we moved into our house. And you talking about a jubilation, a life change, just everything. I mean, just go from a place where we now have sidewalks, there's lights on the streets. I mean, just a whole mindset is different. Every single day that I drive home, I'm forever thankful. Every single day just excites me that I'm like, wow, this amazing, amazing vessel, that we seen from the ground up. And I'll never forget, I got into the hole of my house, because I'm kind of crazy. I jumped in a hole. I had me some little holy oil, and I just walked the perimeter of that house. And I just said, the foundation of Christ, that base of Christ. Once you have that foundation of Christ, He will do everything for you. And I just sprinkled that oil, and I was just reciting scriptures and praying and everything around the base of the house. God knew that house was going to be for me. Every single day I went by and took pictures of that house as it's growing, from the very first day flat grand to where they tore the hole all the way up. And I was having those struggles and those challenges. And we were we were about to throw in the towel. My wife was like, look, it's not working out. We're not able to save the house. We're not able to do it. But if I would have listened to my flesh and be like, you know what, we done, it would have never happened. That one day, I met a guy, my neighborhood on my street, that was, he worked in real estate previously, like 20 years. And he's like, well, I'm not in real estate anymore, but I got a guy that's a lender. That's a friend that's a lender. He was the one guy that was able to get me, get my loan to go through. We had to turn our whole place into a rental home and things like that. It was just crazy. Like no other lender could figure this thing out. But this guy was able to figure out. And if I would have just gave up, threw in the time, but like, yeah, I'm done. We ain't gonna have it. We just gonna stay at the old house. We would not have the peace. We would not have the joy. We would not have the love, the excitement, everything that we have in this house right now. I mean, literally, we picked out every single thing in this house that we wanted. We picked it out. And I'm talking about every single day, man. I'm like, amazing. That's why I be like, hey, get off the wall, stay off the wall. It's just like amazing. So, man, and it always goes back to that December 20th. That's that day, and it's just like, man, this energy was amazing, and it all started on December 20th.
Wow. So that is just so awesome, because I didn't know all of the details. So, I mean, that is just so exciting. I mean, it was just like God was like,
Yeah.
no, we're doing this. You're gonna have to go through the process.
Yeah.
And so often that is
Yes.
what we try to dodge as humans. We want to dodge the process, but the process is what ultimately gives you the testimony, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Right.
It was that part. It was the part of that pain, that uncomfortableness, where you had to go through to realize, like, you can't rush these things. And if that process would have been the normal 3-month process, whatever it takes to build, it would have never happened. God extended that thing for a reason, for all of those things to happen, for me to get the correct lender, for me to get the right amount of money. Because again, I had $1,000 and I needed 20. And if you would have told me going into it, yeah, this is what you need, I'm like, what? No, we tear this up. There's no way it's gonna happen. But because of that faith, that belief, that trust in God, there were people were showing up at work before I even got to work. I'm like, where are these people coming? And I had no idea what was going on over those time periods until it was all in. I said, wow, every single day, these people were here for a reason. Like, I literally had my best months. At that point, I had been with the company for 13 years. I had my best months for those 3 months in order for those things to happen. Right. And it was, man, it's crazy. I sit out on my patio. I got nice size backyard. I love to cut the grass. It's like, man, 2-car garage. I mean, just the little things that you take for granted, and it's just like, man, it's amazing, amazing. And man, yeah, it's tight. It's definitely fun. It was everything.
Congratulations, cousin. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you because you never gave up. I'm proud of you because you led your family. I'm proud of you because you allow God to be your leader, and like you said, you moved yourself out of the
Mhm.
way and you allowed yourself to follow his guide and his instruction. So, the dream. We about to talk about the dream, y'all. So, amidst a pandemic, so much transpired. So, December 20th, you actually launched. You see the logo behind him. It's a camera. You see the logo on his shirt. Nico Church Photography was born December 20th, 2020, amidst a pandemic. And I was so excited to see you celebrating God's goodness. I was excited to see everything that was going on. But one of the things that I learned is the person that introduced you to photography, we lost him in 2020 as well. And so I just want you to just kind of unpack that story a little bit because this is something that you really wanted to do. You always take pictures everywhere. You wanted to be a photographer because it encouraged you to share things with your father who is not accessible to the world, so to speak, but you get to share your world with him through picture. So share all that goodness with us.
Man, yes. I mean, yeah. So again, December 20th. So to give a little bit about on the backstory, so photography became a love, a passion of mine, a joy for mine. Because again, like you said, my dad got locked up when I was 13, and I just didn't have that moment with my dad. And just when you go back and look at the pictures and the store, the video and things like that, kids and sports and school activities and all that stuff, I didn't have it. And then when I had my son at 17, I was like, man, this is something like I have to create. This is something that I have to create. This is something I want to create with my family, with my children. Um, so I just started literally from little camera phones, little disposable, 35 millimeters, just taking pictures of everything, everywhere we went, of whether we go to the zoo, what family event, birthdays, holidays, whatever the case may be. I was just taking pictures of my family, my children. I said we're growing, and then when my daughter was born, same thing, just pictures, pictures, pictures. I mean, we go to events, family events. Like, you always got this camera. At this time, I just had a little bitty, disposable camera. You're always taking pictures of everything. I'm like, man, I just love taking pictures. It's just something I always enjoyed. But also behind that, a little bit of story behind that, the the passion and part that came around it as well was because I was going through the custody battle with child support, and I literally had child custody. I had to show these pictures at this moment, in court, as to this is who I am. Like, I'm in my children's life. Outside of college, I've always been around. So when I was away from them, that was something different. But I always wanted to be involved with my children because that's something my mom did not play. You lay down and you're gonna take care of it. So that's something that I always had a value in was family. So, family was something that I always loved. And I just always wanted to capture that moment. But through some lies and manipulation and things like that, like I had to prove that I was someone different than what was being told. So I had to literally take these things to court to show, like, hey, I'm a father. I'm a father all the time. Look at me with my kids at the park. Look at me with my kids at Thanksgiving and holidays, whatever the case may be. And that's something that literally at that moment helped save my life, from who knows what, jail, anything like that. But then fast forward, just kind of, going through the years, I'm steady taking pictures of, work events, school events, through college, and, doing my career and things like that. And then I'm in the process of, changing my church and everything. I'm wanted to start, doing photography at church. And 2017 again is a year that, when we're building our house. The year that we built our house, 2017, the same day I got my side, I was in the process of changing churches, and there was an event called the Love Ride, August 15th. The same day I got my side was the same day that God spoke to me about kind of the vision of photography. I went into this church, which is my current church right now at the moment, and I was like amazing, amazing. The Love Ride was an event that kind of talked about. It was just recently with the Charleston riots, where there were some, some blacks were, ran over from some whites. It was just huge racial tension in the country at the moment. And I wrote out on this wall, this big board that had love on it, the words LOVE. And I wrote, "Love has no color barrier." And there were thousands of people who wrote on this board as well. But on the news recap, so they went back to the news recap, and they, I don't know how they got to it, but it was my quote that they captured out of thousands and thousands of words all over this board. I don't know how it happened, but they used that capture. Love has no color barrier, and that's when God spoke to me about being at this church, which is my church is huge, very multiple, large church, thousands and thousands of members, multi-campus, multicultural, multi-dimensional, things like that. And it was this one particular guy. I had my backpack, my camera with me, and I'm like, man, I'm just amazed by these guys walking through with cameras. I'm like, man, this looks cool. This looks cool. And I was introduced to one of my buddies, David Bell. And again, like you said, he recently passed January 12th, this year, 2021. But he was the first guy to introduce me into like the photo team at church. And, we started shooting every Sunday at church. And, anytime I had an event, I'd call him, pick his brain. And, he was that one guy that was on my journey with me, capturing all the moments of my special moments of 2020, the 10-year vow renewal, my 40th birthday, picture, my only professional picture that I had myself. So 2020 was that year. This pandemic was crazy. It was crazy. But at the same time, I thank God that I was able to be sat down, just like a lot of us. I didn't have income. I didn't have a job. Events were gone, weddings were out, no graduation, no nothing. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do? But that was during that moment, during that time, and God was speaking to me about kind of what was next. And I just said to myself, I was like, man, I need to get a studio. I got this vision of this space, I call it Nico Church, photography studio, but it's creative art space as well, because it's this vision of like just arts and fun and crafts and different things that I want to be able to do, not only for myself, but youth, and, help train and teach and all these other things. And David was a guy that captured every moment. He was here with me even on the day that I opened my studio. So in October, November, the thought came to my mind. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I want this space. I need space. But of course, in my flesh, I'm telling myself, I can't afford this. I'm not gonna be able to afford this, because I haven't even made $400 or $500 a month. Listen, I did not make $400 or $500 a month to be able to find a place, a rental place, a space. First off, nobody's gonna look at me because I don't have the income. They're not gonna understand, like, dude, you can't pay for this. What do you think you're doing? You're crazy. But God, God got a plan. God has a purpose. And literally in November, I was like, okay, I want a space. And he spoke to me. He said, stop worrying about the price. Just go find a place. I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about the price? I don't have any money to pay for this stuff. I don't have it. I blocked it out of my mind. Found me a space. And I said, oh, well, it'd be cool to kind of open up, on my birthday, February. No, I said, no. I know the exact date that I want to open this thing. It's November. How long do I got? Is this, how soon can this thing get ready? Man, I said, I'm opening this baby up on December 20th, 2020. In the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of the craziness, in the middle of all the stuff that's going on, it came to life. It was birthed, David captured all of those moments with me. We came in, set up, took the pictures and everything. We had a walk through, just this amazing event, had the ribbon cut and everything. And my God was there to capture it all. Unfortunately, the next month, he passed away, and it kind of rocked me. It took me down for a minute because this is something that, man, we talk constantly, because we went to, a couple studios before together and things like that. I'm like, nah, man, I'm getting space. We're gonna do this thing together. We're gonna be rocking and rolling, like, you know. And so it kind of shook me up for a minute, and for about a month and a half, I just couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But God's like, nah, I gotta do this thing in remembrance of him. I can't stop this thing now. I can't give this thing up now. So I mean, I owe so much to him. And so for just being able to listen to me, calm me down, like on days when I got events, because I get real nervous. For some reason I get real nervous when I got something big going on, an event or whatever. But that was my guy, man. He always talked to me and always kept me just kind of calm and peaceful and everything like that. Just amazing father, amazing man, amazing man of God. But I'm so thankful that God led me to that church at that time, at that moment, because that is all a part of my story. Everything. Now I can kind of go back and look at all this stuff and realize, like, man, God has always been in my life so much. I couldn't see it because I'm trying to do this thing my way, and I had no idea. Look, I had a six-figure income, did very well in corporate America, company car, paid vacations, everything. Literally, God had to remove me out of all of those things for me to realize what was next, because it was something that was like, I was successful, but I didn't have the peace. I didn't have the joy, the things that I have right now. But now it's like, man, every single time where I just kind of remove myself, get myself out of the way and stop trying to do a Nico way, is when God come in and just show up like, look, man, I've never left you. You just got to be obedient. You gotta hear my voice to hear what's next. Had this pandemic not happened, where I was forced to sit down, I wouldn't be in my space right now, in this studio right now, because all I was doing is rolling. I was just kept on rolling. I'm trying to do it my way. But it's like, no, if there's something that I want you to do and be specific with it, this is how it's going to happen. And I'll tell you what, man, again, December 20th, now this day, 2020 was just, that was the culmination, like, of the next phase of life for me. Like, now I'm in this place. Yeah, I don't make the money that I make. I'm nowhere near the six figures. And you know what? If that happens again because of hard work and everything, then it happens. But now I'm not chasing the money anymore. Now it's the peace, the pursuit of peace is what I have now. Because the thing that allows me to get up each and every day is that I don't have anybody telling me what to do, how to do, when to do it, whatever the case may be. All I do is just listen to God and for him to just tell me what's next. He allows the things to come to me and allow me to be able to be fruitful and help and bless others, and whatever the case may be, all without the same thing that I was doing before. Now it's all about trusting in him, believing in him, and that faith, taking that faith jump was everything. And now, and even today, I said, man, 12, 20, 12, 20. Like, what is it about this day? And even when I just did, just read the numbers backwards, it read 221, which is my birthday, February 21st. I'm like, man. So every single day, 1220, every single time something significant and major happened in my life for a reason, it's 1220. All goes back to the birth, the numbers of birth. Man, God is amazing. God has some powerful things. You know what I'm saying? We all have an amazing gift and an amazing talent inside of us. We just got to be able to tap into that thing. So now I truly understand what my true gift and my passion is, because now I knew from my pain, it turned to my passion, and my passion turned into my purpose. And my purpose is to bring that love and that joy to not only myself, but to friends and family, to the world. Now I'm at a point where I can literally send people, can see my work, see my craft, my gift, my talent all over the world. And I'm so excited. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful, because that's bringing joy to people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. There is nothing like living in your purpose. If you are walking in purpose, you will not work one day in your life. And because it's
Yes,
who you
yes,
are. It's not what you're doing. It's not
yes, yes,
it's no longer about the money. The money will come. The resources will come because God
yes,
provides, right? So we're going to let God do what he
Yes.
does. But if we focus on what God has given us to do, then it's all good. And so this
Yes. Yes.
inspired me. This inspired me because I love doing these podcasts because I want to inspire someone else. I want to inspire
Yes.
people who have lost their hope. I want to inspire people that feel like I'm going through this and I can't see ahead. But if somebody else can give you to can shed light on your situation because they've been there, done that, and got to the next, then it helps to encourage
Yes.
you that hey, I can make it. So Nico, I just want to say thank
Yes.
you so much for sharing who you are, cousin. But I want to talk to you
Yes.
about this
Yes.
heavyweight belt. So in most of Nico's pictures, y'all, you will see him wherever he goes with this belt on. And it is just so amazing because there is a story of encouragement behind it. And I just want to kind of end our time together with Nico explaining what is the belt? What is it all about to you? What does it mean to you?
All right. Here's my belt, my baby. So yeah, so the belt has its has its significance, in my life. It started, in my former employer and things like that, where we would have challenges and competition for top sales and top customer service, whatever the case may be. And I took over a branch that was struggling, a location that was struggling, that had challenges with customer service and things like that. And I made it a point, like my goal is to get that belt. My goal is to become the best. My goal is to have the best customer service. My goal is to have the best numbers, the best sales numbers, everything. That was my goal. That was my mission. I did it. I did it month one. I did it month two. Did it month three. And I ran off like 12 months in a row of just like top customer service and top sales and everything. And it just literally became mine. It's like nobody was going to be like, you weren't going to take the belt from me anymore. Like I was going to be like the best, and literally I made it a point to work hard, challenge my team, challenge my employees and myself to be like the best at whatever you want to be, to give the best service, to give the best, the best experience possible. And it's crazy because I literally take this belt with me every single place I go. This belt has been to Mexico. This belt has been to Miami, been to Florida. I mean, all parts of Florida. It's been, East Coast, West Coast. It goes on every vacation with me, unless one time I did forget it and I was a little bummed out. But the thing is, it's a reminder to me that it's it's about the adversity that I had to overcome, the challenges that I had to overcome, the struggles that I had to overcome. When people counted me out, when they doubted me, it's all a reminder to me that you got to have a heart of a champion. I have this thing, it was called the championship mentality. You got to have the heart, the desire, the work ethic, the love, the grind, the passion for like the champions are. I mean, if you look at any champion, a champion gets up early, they stay up late, they outwork anybody, and the reward for whatever you're doing is exponential. It's amazing. It's crazy. So every time, I had sales, my customers, we would take pictures with the belt. My family would take pictures with the belt. And now in the studio, I have my customers taking pictures with the belt because it all reminds me of like, man, look, I made it. I made it through. I lived, I survived, I made it through, the heart of a champion. Um, and my goal is to challenge people, to inspire people, to encourage people to be that, to be everything that you want to be that champion, to be that warrior, that fighter, that when people doubt in you, that you have inside it, and don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen to the doubters and the non-believers. Everywhere I took this belt, they're like, why do you have a belt? Why do you have this belt with you? At work, they're like, why you always got this belt? Nobody knew what this belt was doing for me. Nobody knew that this belt was a part of me. Nobody knew that this belt was my grind, was my peace, was that encouragement, that part of that purpose for me. Yeah. So whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that brings you that certain thing, wear it with pride, wear it with joy. What happened, man? I'll take this. I'll tell you, when I have this belt at the airport, people love it. Like, oh man, look at the champion. They don't know what kind of champion I am, but they just see me as a champion. And then that starts a conversation. Then I can tell them my story. Then I can tell them my story of overcoming. Then I can tell them my story of joy. Then I can tell them my story of peace. And where I'm at right now, man, this belt means everything to me. And, and when I thought I lost this baby, whew, man, I can live. But it's amazing, and I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed that had I not seen that journey, had I not seen that challenge in front of me for me to go after it, to get it, I wouldn't have it. You got to be able to put yourself on that point where there's something that's in front of you that you can't see. There's something in front of you that you won't understand. There's something in front of you that will make no sense to you. But once you start working towards it, being faithful in it, and encouraging yourself and getting up each and every day, man, the reward you get out of it is amazing. This belt literally made people want to come and be around me. Made people want to be like, man, I want to go to him. He's the champ. He got to be doing somewhere. I want to work with him. I want to be around him. I want to get his service. I want to do the things that he's doing, because it's just something about the joy that comes on me when I have this belt with me. And most people won't understand it. It's not for them to understand. It's for me to understand. It's for me to be able to get it out to people, to them to understand. So yeah, this belt, man, means a lot to me. It means a lot to me.
I love it, cousin, because you are winning, you are winning, you are winning, and the enemy cannot hold you down because you do have the champion mentality. And
Yeah.
so I just want to say thank you for
Yes.
being a light to so many, because people are watching your life.
Yes.
There will be people that will watch this podcast and say to themselves, hey, well, Nico wasn't always successful. Nico had to push through some stuff. There were some tough days for Nico, as it is for us all. And sometimes people just don't know your backstory. So people get a glimpse of your success and they think that that's what it is, when once you learn the backstory, you understand the
Yes.
building blocks of success, right? So I mean, it is
Yeah.
amazing, and I love it, love it, love it. So Nico, you talked about so much, but overall, you talked about overcoming. That is like the theme of your life. So although
Yes.
December 20th is a day of pain, passion, and purpose, it is a day
Yes.
that you have overcome, that you have gotten an opportunity to celebrate, where you have had an opportunity to build, where you have had an opportunity to just be great. The champion that you are, God has put you
Yes.
on display to the world to say, hey, he's my champion. And as long as you continue to make his name great, he's going to elevate you. So stay encouraged, cousin. This is
Yes.
awesome. Do you have any
Thank you.
last words that you want to share? Anything that we didn't discuss that you want the audience to hear before we get out of here?
I mean, the biggest thing that I wanted to leave people with is, like you said earlier, like it's not easy. There were times where I would go into work several times and wanted to quit. There were several days where I wanted to quit, give up, throw in the towel, throw it all in, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, the beauty about life, it can always get better. No matter how hard it is, it can always get better. No matter if you have another day of life, you have another breath of life, count it all joy, and just understand that no matter what, pain is only temporary. And no matter what kind of pain you went through, whether it's been physical, mental, emotional, whatever the case may be, God can heal you of that pain. You know, you can be healed, you can be cleansed, you can be, all of that stuff can be written. If you just believe in yourself, I mean, God has been my foundation to everything. And like I said, had it not been for some of these challenges and situations that came up in my life, who knows where I will be. God has always been a driving force. But I always lean back to say that because life is amazing. Life is beautiful. No matter what you think of yourself, start flipping. If you're thinking negative, start thinking positive. All it takes is that one moment, that one step. It can start now. It can start today. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened an hour ago. Just flip that thing to believe in yourself, to be like, you know what? I got a purpose. There's passion that's chasing me. There's something that's inside of me that I can give to this world, that I can give to this world, that is going to be impactful. That's going to be amazing. So I always say, like, man, my passion has purpose. That's everything. It means so much because we are beautiful, beautiful creatures, all shades of people, all sizes of people. And we are so beautiful, so gifted, and so talented, no matter where you are. There's been days where, I had self-esteem issues. I had, all types of issues. But, the beauty of it is I got past it. I kept going. I kept fighting through. Just know that there's something amazing is coming. Greatness is waiting. Greatness is in store. It's destiny has your name on it. There's something that God is speaking to you right now. For those that are struggling, for those that want to give up, don't do it. Don't give up. Don't give in. Greatness is on your life. There is something special and something powerful on each and every one of us. And I leave that to say, especially for our youth, that man, we got so much to live for. So much, and this belt just keeps me young. This belt keeps me fun. We gotta encourage our youth and keep them fun, and keep them, looking forward to the great things that we have. And just know that it doesn't matter your background level, education level, or how much money you have or had, or whatever the case may be. Once you find that peace, man, once you find that joy, none of that other stuff matters, because you have something that is so powerful. Once your mind is right, you can do anything. You can do anything. And once I got that peace, oh my gosh, now life is just fun for me. I wake up each and every day and I'm excited, because there's something, your pain will turn to your passion, that's going to turn to that purpose. That the pain happens for a reason. We all have to go through it, but go through means something. Through, listen to the word through. When you go through something, that means don't stay there. When you
Right.
go through that pain, man, get out that pain. Because once you get out that pain and you get to that peace, man, that's something that I can't even describe the words to the feel on the level that I'm at right now, because I have peace in my life. I mean, everything that you could ever imagine, it feels amazing, because I went through that pain. I didn't stay in it. I didn't let that pain take me out. I didn't let that pain stick with me. I went through it, and now, man, I'm eating the fruits of the labor. I'm eating the fruits of the seeds that I planted from all the pain that I went through. And man, just life is great. Life is good. It's not easy, but life is good. And I'm just thankful. I'm forever, indebted for all the love and all the people that have supported me over the years, all the people that have encouraged me, and even the people that didn't encourage me, that pushed me. The people that didn't, see in me, that pushed me. So it's just one of those things that you just gotta be able to live and enjoy life, and just be weird, be you, be amazing.
I love it. I love it, cousin. Y'all heard it from the champ. He is an overcomer. He has the champion mindset. Y'all have not seen nothing yet. I just do not believe that God is done with this man. I believe that God is just building his platform, and I believe that he is going to encourage generations to come. And so I want to say thank you so much. Again, this is not only my guest, but he is my cousin, and I am so very proud of him in all that he's doing and what God is doing through him. It is so amazing. So, to the listener, I just want to say to you that I hope that you have been inspired by Nico's story, because life is not easy. Those were his words. Life is not easy for any of us. But if you think about what it means, like Nico said, to go through, going through means that you're not stuck where you were. So if you were in pain and you go through, then you can get to your next. the space of peace. And even in the walk to peace, is still a process. So all of these P words, God knows, He knows, but they are good and they are for us and they will take us to our next. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you again to Nico for coming on, and we are going
Yes,
to
yes.
say good night to you all, and thank you for listening and watching. Bye bye.